Hello my dear students, welcome to our online class. In your previous class, we have discussed about the different ways of taking food in different animals and also different compartment of alimentary canal. Now, we are going to discuss about what happens to the food that we eat, how it gets digested in different compartment of the alimentary canal and how it is utilized in our body. So, as you know, the first part of our alimentary canal is buccal cavity. So we take the food into our body through the mouth or buccal cavity. And this process of taking food into our body through the mouth, this process is known as digestion. After taking the food into the mouth, we chew the food with the help of our teeth and mechanically converted this complex food substance into smaller substances. We chew the food with the help of teeth. You have already discussed about the different type of teeth in your lower classes. Do you remember how many types of teeth are present in your mouth? There are 4 different types of teeth which are present inside our mouth. They are incisor, canine, premolar and molar. Incisor is otherwise known as cutting teeth. That means it helps to cut the food. Canine, that is also known as piercing and tearing teeth. That means it helps to tear the food. Premolar and molar, they are otherwise known as chewing or grinding teeth. That means it helps to grind the food. Inside the mouth, during chewing, the food is mixed with saliva. Saliva is secreted from the salivary gland which is present inside our mouth. So, what is the function of saliva? In order to understand what is the function of saliva on our food, we have to discuss it with the help of the activity, which is activity 2.3 in your book, page number 40. Let us discuss this activity 2.3. Take 2 test tubes, name them A and B. In test tube A, take some boiled rice, and in test tube B, take some boiled rice after chewing it to 2 to 3 minutes. Then add 3 to 4 ml of water in each test tube and then add 2 to 3 drops of iodine solution in each test tube and observe it for few minutes. After few minutes, you will observe that the the color of the test tube A, it changes into deep violet color and the color of test tube B remains colorless. Violet color indicates the presence of starch. So starch is present in test tube A. But what happens to the starch in the test tube B? The saliva that mixed with the food during the chewing that convert this starch into sugar. So the test tube, inside the test tube B, it remains colorless. Starch is absent. Next, come to another part of mouth, that is the tongue, a fleshy muscular organ which is present inside the mouth, that is tongue. You have already discussed about tongue in your lower classes. What are the functions of tongue? The main function of tongue, it helps us to talk. That means without the use of tongue, we are not able to talk. Another function of tongue, that is help us to identify the different taste of the food. That means whether it is salty or sour or bitter. The bumpy taste buds which are present on the surface of the tongue, they helps to identify the different taste of the food. Another important function of taste, tongue, that is it helps to mix the food with the saliva and it also helps to swallowing the food into the lower part of the alimentary canal. So this is all about tongue. Then comes to next part of the alimentary canal, that is food pipe or esophagus. The swallowed food goes to the food pipe or esophagus. So food pipe that runs along the neck and the chest. and food is pushed down by the movement of the wall of food pipe. Actually, this movement takes place through the alimentary canal and pushes the food downward. The only function of this food pipe or esophagus is that it transfers the food from buccal cavity or mouth to the stomach. Then come to the next part of the alimentary canal, that is stomach. The stomach is a thick walled bag. Its shape is like flattened U, and it is the widest part of the alimentary canal. And it receives the food from the food pipe from one end and enters it to the small intestine in the other end. The lining of the stomach, it secretes three types of juice: one mucus, two hydrochloric acid, and three digestive juice. So what is the function of mucus? The function of mucus, it protects the lining of the stomach. Hydrochloric acid, it kills the bacteria that comes along with the food and also make the medium of the stomach acidic, that helps to the digestive juice to act. And the digestive juice, that break down protein into simpler substance. So this is all about the function of stomach. Then come to the next part of the alimentary canal, that is small intestine. The small intestine is a highly coiled structure and it is about 7.5 meter long. And all about this you have already discussed in your previous EVST classes. And the function of small intestine, it receives the secretion from liver and pancreas. Liver and pancreas. About liver and pancreas we have already discussed about in our previous class, that liver and pancreas are two secretory glands. So let us discuss about liver. Liver is a reddish brown colored gland and is situated upper part of the abdomen on right side. And the function of liver, it secretes the bile juice, and the bile juice is stored inside the gallbladder. Then comes to pancreas. Pancreas is a large cream color gland that situated just below the stomach. The pancreatic juice acts on carbohydrate, fat and protein and changes into simpler substance. The partially digested food now reaches into the lower part of the small intestine, and inside the lower part of the small intestine, it mixes with the intestinal juice and converted into simpler substance. The complex food substance like carbohydrate, and carbohydrate is converted into simpler substance like glucose. Fats are converted into fatty acid and glycerol, and proteins are converted into amino acid. So digestion is completed in the small intestine, in the lower part of the small intestine. After completion of digestion, absorption and assimilation, both the process takes place inside the small intestine. So the digested food now passes into the blood vessels through the small walls of the small intestine, and this process is known as absorption. And the inner wall of the small intestine has thousands of finger-like projection, that is called villus. In singular they are called villus and in plural they are called villi. And do you know what is the function of villi? The villi increase surface area for the absorption of the digested food. The villus has a network of thin and small blood vessels close its to surface, and the surface of the villi absorbs the digested food material. The absorbed substance are transported via the blood vessels into different organs of the body, whether it is used or utilized by our body, and this process is known as assimilation. And so as you know, absorption and assimilation, both the process takes place inside the small intestine. Then after absorption, the undigested food materials, they come to next part of the small alimentary canal, that is large intestine. Large intestine is wider and shorter than small intestine. It is about 1.5 meter length. The function of large intestine is to absorb water and some salts. After adsorption of some salt and water from the undigested food, this undigested food goes to the rectum and it remains there for a semi-solid feces. And this semi-solid feces goes out from our body time to time, and this process is called egestion. So here completion of this process. Then in our next class we are going to discuss about the digestion in grass eating animals.